The second observation, ethnography. The purpose of the second observation is to provide a partial interpretation or analysis of your research question. Let me begin with what Margaret Mead says about anthropology, that it demands the open-mindedness with which one must look and listen, record in astonishment and wonder that which one would not have been able to guess. In essence, the interesting, fascinating aspect of ethnography is to uncover the extraordinary beneath what is called the mundane and ordinary. In framing your second observation, you want to begin with articulation of your specific goals in your introduction. In other words, you want to spell out your research question and explain how your rationale for your project, your ethnographic project, and its significance is. In describing your rationale and the need for the project, you need to stress the timely and relevant nature of the project and the fact that it is a worthy focal point that you are examining, that other studies have been done in this area. Perhaps your approach is slightly or significantly different, or how and if other areas within the same topic have been studied or understudied or unstudied, and the ways in which your work contributes to the body of information in this field. It is important to use descriptive neutral language, essentially, to introduce the participants and to demonstrate the scope of your work. You want to review your field notes, interview notes, cultural artifacts that you have collected. In your methodology, as it was mentioned, you need to describe your participants as fully, their demographic, socioeconomic status, gender. You want to be able to describe basically your setting and in that connection, your own role. What are you bringing to the fieldwork? Did you encounter any conflicts, role conflicts, as a participant observer during your study? And how did you deal with these situations? You want to relate, if you can, your site and study to some relevant literature from the works that we have studied throughout this course, or other sources to be able to contextualize your work. And you want to be able to transcribe sufficient, representative, and effective examples of interviews and interactions to demonstrate basically your focal point. It is important in the final analysis to connect your data, meaning your transcriptions, field notes, interview notes, cultural artifacts, with the analytical framework that you are using in order to present your interpretation. It is also important to think about how you want to represent yourself, either a third person or first person point of view. Structuring your second observation, you could follow this outline. In your introduction, you discuss the rationale and relevance and provide a brief literature background. In the methodology, you describe your methods, the setting, the participants, and then in your data presentation, your field notes, observations, cultural artifacts, still photographs, video, audio recordings, and your data analysis would include presenting your data in the form of examples, specific examples, samples, excerpts, observational data, interview, transcriptions, so on and so forth. Hopefully you would be able to provide a tentative analysis, and this would become the introduction to your first draft of the paper, which is a combination of the first observation and the second observation. Here we see the sequentiality of the activities involved, the process of data collection, data analysis, and your findings.